I'm Julie Blanner, and today we're talking all about furniture paint. I have painted so many pieces of furniture through the years and made a lot of mistakes along the way. But fortunately, I picked up a lot of tips and tricks too, so you don't have to. These simple tips and tricks will yield a beautiful, professional finish every time. And they'll save a lot of time making this job feel almost effortless. One of the most important things to consider when you're painting furniture is the type of paint you use. They're not all created equal. This is when I highly recommend that you select something that's a little more costly because chances are it's going to be a little bit better. My go-to is Sherwin-Williams Pro Classic. Every painter we've ever used highly recommended it, and it's tried and true in our home, and we've used it actually in multiple homes at this point. It's great for cabinets, for trim, and of course, furniture and doors. Anything that's at risk of getting beat up. It's easy to wipe clean, it adheres really well, so it's definitely a great go-to. However, if you choose another paint, just make sure that it is made for furniture or to adhere to wood. The first step to painting furniture is to remove all the hardware. Take any drawers out and remove all the hardware, including knobs and pulls. This will make it much easier in the long run and give you a professional finish. Next, you need to wipe the furniture clean. You want to remove any residue that may be lingering behind. Next, it's all about the prep work. Prepping a piece of furniture will yield the best, most durable finish that is long-lasting, so you don't have to do it again. And if you have to paint furniture again, you're usually painting over chips and things like that that are difficult to disguise later on. So this simple trick will prevent that. Instead of using sandpaper, which is also highly recommended for prepping your furniture, you can use sander deglosser, or sometimes it's called liquid deglosser. Whatever you call it, I call it fabulous. It's the quickest and easiest shortcut to sanding furniture, and it gets in all those nooks and crannies. It takes away that finish and leaves it rough enough so that the new finish can adhere to it. If you're struggling to get it truly clean, don't be afraid to use a degreaser. Once you've sanded or deglossed, make sure you clean it thoroughly again. This is another important step so you make sure that the paint adheres properly. Allow it to completely dry before proceeding to the next step. Now it's time to paint anything that it would be difficult for a roller to get into. Those little nooks and crannies, edges of drawers, and detailed areas. I like to use a high quality brush when I'm brushing furniture because I don't want brush marks left behind. I absolutely love this brush by Purdy. It's Nylox. It's my go-to, so I highly recommend that you give it a try too. But choose a high quality brush because you don't want streak marks. Now remember, it doesn't have to be perfect the first time around. Let it dry completely after you're done brushing. Next, it's time to use your roller. Roll your roller into your paint, removing all excess and letting it drip. This will prevent from some areas being too thick, some being too thin, and little globs. Roll it on evenly onto your piece of furniture. Now make sure you're not rolling over where you just rolled. It will become tacky and sticky, and that's where a lot of people go wrong and actually can ruin the finish. You want a super smooth, professional finish. It's best to roll over each area just once. Don't worry, we'll come back to it again after it's dry. Working quickly, roll each piece one by one. Again, make sure that you resist the urge to roll over it again. This will reduce any risk of brush marks. If you do have any drips, wipe them up as needed. Allow it to dry completely before moving on to the next step. Now, this is my favorite part. It's time to roll your next coat of paint. The second coat of paint is where you really see it come to life. You can eliminate any imperfections on your second coat. Apply a smooth, even coat while working on each piece individually. Again, resist the urge to touch up. Allow your piece of furniture to completely dry. Then you can touch up as needed, either with your brush or your roller. When choosing a high-quality furniture paint, any touch-ups should blend in. You should not need to apply a third coat at all. When you're choosing the right furniture paint, it should blend in seamlessly. Allow the piece of furniture to dry and cure for 24 hours before adding any hardware or placing the drawers inside of the piece of furniture. This will ensure it's completely cured and eliminate any risk of damage. I hope you've enjoyed this video on how to paint furniture and choosing the right furniture painting tools for the job. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave them in the description below. Don't forget to click notifications and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you again soon.